it's Sharon Luska here from My Crafty Greetings, and we're doing a Scrappy Tails hop video. I've got some of this really delicious paper out here, and it was a special occasion for a couple reasons that I decided to cut into this. We are hopping along today with the Scrappy Tails Assorted Christmas Leaves die set. Look at this set, and I have so many ideas, and I've only just touched a few of these dies for today. And if you haven't guessed that I'm going to do something a little bit different, I am. You know me, I look at things and I see things differently than everybody else does, or maybe I see things differently and other people see it differently too. I'm not sure. But anyways, today I was thinking, getting out our metallic papers and having a little bit of fun altering them, making our die cuts look like something a little bit more than what they started off being. I think that would be a fun thing to do today, and I think that that would absolutely work in with what I'm going to be doing, especially for this particular card. And if you're looking at those beautiful peacock feathers back there, well, guess what? This first die here, I absolutely think that if you want to make feathers out of this die, you sure can, because it is absolutely gorgeous the way it's been drawn out by Sabrina, and I cannot believe the versatility of what this die can do. So I'm just actually taking two green foiled pieces and I'm gluing them one over the other. I just want to thicken up the little tendrils that are coming off of these. I'm curving the ends here, and as you can see, do those not look like feathers? Now we're going to make them a very specific kind of feather here, and we're going to need a little bit of help from some of our alcohol inks to do that. Alcohol inks, as you know, absolutely love to stick to shiny, non-porous surfaces, and I have gotten out some of my alcohol inks, which we're going to add a little bit more intensity here to the teal one, and I am just going to paint these on. Now, if you don't have alcohol inks, whatever magic markers that you have that are going to be alcohol based, like a Sharpie or Copics, or even if you have the Spectrum Noirs, any of those will work, and you can go ahead and color over top of your foil die cuts and make them something a little different than they started out being. Add some dimension, some texture, and some interest to them, and just have a lot of fun. Now, one of these things that I noticed when I was looking at my little picture of my peacock feathers here is there's a lot of tonal variation in those peacock feathers, and I really wanted to represent that, and I thought by starting out with the green base that we could go ahead and layer over some different colors to really make this look more like a peacock feather. It's not going to look exactly like a peacock feather, but you certainly can get the idea across when you're actually adding the pigmentation to your die cuts. And even if you wanted to die cut this in white or a gray and add some variation to it from there with just your regular inks and some ink blending, you could have an absolute blast making all kinds of different feathers from what originally started off being a Christmas leaf. So I'm just trimming up those extra little ends here just to make them a little bit finer than where I left the cut off at. So it's just a couple snips. And you can see here I have this background and I flicked on some of that gold alcohol ink. Now that is alcohol ink that I mixed in some Jacquard Pearl-Ex into so that it would have a nice gold pearly shine to it. And I started getting really kind of concerned that maybe I hadn't picked the right background. I have this flat Nina Solar White one, and then I pulled out a green one and I decided that none of these quite had the right weight for this particular paper. And I know we talked about pattern papers before, as in 1, 2, and 3, and I'll pop the video up here. I would say this is a number 4 in pattern paper because it requires some special attention from our 1s, 2s, and 3s. And that's because of a pattern and glitter. So I'm just picking a heavier weight paper here, and that is going to pull everything together so that there's good balance when I make this composition. So I've got this all stuck together here. I shortened up my card a little bit to take into account my miscutting on the die cut, but I think it looks just gorgeous. And I have to say a big shout out, Virginia, this card is for you. Hello, and thank you so much for being a great supportive viewer. I also wanted to give you guys another little sneak peek of a project that uses exactly the same die. I was commissioned to make this book keepsake card, and of course this book keepsake card die set is from Sabrina at Scrappy Tails Crafts. You too can buy this die set and make a gorgeous book like this. But the big thing that I wanted to show you is the lavender here is actually that exact same die that I just made the peacock feathers from. And I'm just showing you some of the details here of this beautiful, beautiful keepsake and how I put it together. I actually hand cut those silhouettes there and colored them up so that you could tell it was the couple, and then added some vellum in the background to create a scene. A big thank you to Catherine who allowed me to share that here on YouTube so you guys could see it too. So now we're back to altering our metallic die cuts or foil die cuts, and I'm actually using a Copic marker, and then I'm also going to be pulling in here a Spectrum Noir alcohol marker, and I am just kind of dabbing and scribbling all over the top of these die cuts. And you can see here the difference between just the flat die cut and then the extra texture and color pigmentation that comes from adding that alcohol ink. Now I went back in with a Sharpie too. Go ahead and try them, whatever you've got, see what works. Now here's another tip I'm going to show you. I actually use lint rollers as a way of putting glue on the backs of my really fine die cuts and making sure that I don't get the fronts all gluey. So what you need is Tombow Mono Multi and a little finger dauber, a sponge, a piece of sponge, some paper towel. And with these things stuck down gently to this surface, it will keep the glue from sticking to the fronts, and it also pull off any of the little hairs as well. So I have all my leaves stuck down now on my Nina Solar White background, and I am going to take this polka dot paper, and I just eyeballed where I wanted it, lined it up on my cutter, and whacked off the piece that I needed. I'm putting on a little bit of packing foam to the back of this just to give it a little bit of dimension, and then I wanted to put a hot pink ribbon on. So I pulled out what I had in my stash, and this ruffled one is the Winner Winner Chicken Dinner. And from here on in, I wanted you to see how many times I change my mind when I'm doing a design. So I decided that this video, I was just going to leave those changes in so that you could actually see the process of how I go from one thing to the next thing, to the next thing, to whatever my final project is going to be. And it's through all of those changes and trying and retrying is actually how I've learned how to make cards and what looks good. And you can see here, if I had somebody in the craft room with me, I'd be like, this way or that way. What do you think? Now from here, I decided I needed to pull in some more of that pink just to make the card jive together. And I decided I wanted to do some really nice berries. And I love this die set because I see so many more things than just a roof add-on. The light bulbs would make great little leaves. We've got these perfect little tiny berries that are domed. How great is that for an added feature from this die? Never mind the chevron pattern, and check this out for making something cool and geometric. There's so many ways you can rearrange these roof lines. Anyways, I'm adding on the berries here, and the nice thing too is you could easily make yourself great confetti. Now I used another die, the traditional Merry Christmas ornament die, to get this Merry Christmas sentiment, and I've got it all put together in a bunch of layers. I'm also going to add a little bit of a ribbon flare here and tuck that in behind using a little bit of ATG to give it its shape, and then I'm going to pop this up with some foam tape. Anyways, you can see all that. So while you're looking at what I'm doing, I just wanted to let you know my fantastically talented teammates are going to be hopping along today as well. We are all doing the Assorted Christmas Leaves die set, and we're showing some of our best stuff, and I'm sure that the great ideas are going to continue to come well past this hop. There's also some prizes being given away today, and I will be giving away one $25 gift card to Scrappy Tails Crafts. Yay! And I will be considering every comment left at every one of my fellow hoppers, including my site, as an entry for you to win that $25 gift card. Kim Skinner is also going to be giving one away on her site, and Sabrina will also be giving one as well. So mine will be awarded 2 weeks from today, so don't forget to pop back and check, and the Friday evening will be the cutoff deadline for your comments to appear on my site before I announce the winner. Now this is a really easy, simple card. I didn't alter the gold here, the gold foil paper. Once I got this together, it was just so stunning. I just couldn't do something different to it. And I have to tell you, it is one of the easiest cards if you need to throw something together that has wow kapow and is simple and easy to do. Have yourself a few extra of these leaf sprays here cut out in some foiled shapes, and you can go ahead and stick them on any card in any color combination. You know, I think a holographic leaf frond and some light pink paper would look gorgeous, or if you have some very, very pale blue metallic paper and you could die cut it and just put it on a white paper. There's just so many things you can do with this. It is absolutely crazy. And there are also a few weird uses that are knocking around in my brain right now that I'm excited to show you once I can get them all done out in actual card shape. But I just use this Season's Greetings die here, and it's a Tim Holtz one I absolutely love. Of course, you know, any die cut sentiment is my gig, and with any luck we'll see some really great sentiment dies coming from Sabrina in the not too distant future. So I just layered up a little piece of card here with the foil paper, and it is a white Nina Solar White little backer there. If you haven't subscribed to my channel to this point, I sure would love it if you would. Hit the bell, because you never know when I'm going to be posting my craziness. And don't forget to leave me a comment. You could win. And if you're ever interested in getting a card from me like Virginia is going to be receiving in the mail, please leave me a comment and let me know. I would love to share some of this joy. Thanks so much for joining me. Bye!